Hey guys, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name's Thomas, if you didn't already know, and if you did already know, welcome back. So this week I wanted to do something a little bit different than what I usually do. It's not about hair, and yeah, I just thought I would show you what my favorite lunch dish was. It's very simple, very straightforward, and it's also very healthy. One of the main ingredients today is salmon, so if you're not a salmon lover, don't freak out. You can use like ham if you like, or shaved chicken, or even roast beef. Anything really goes with this. But yeah, before we get started, we should probably put an apron on. So we're ready. I just wanted to run over the 4 main ingredients that we're going to be using today. We've got some multi-grain Helga's bread. Ta-da! We'll be toasting that soon on this really ancient looking toaster that I inherited from my dad actually. It's from Europe. I don't know what the deal with it is, but it only toasts one side at a time. It's a little bit of a weird one, but it's all we got to work with. Next ingredient, we've obviously got our salmon. I just told you before, you do not have to use salmon. You can use ham or chicken or even beef. We also have some mixed greens, so I like to go with spinach and arugula, or rocket as we call it over here in Australia. I've just got a nice blend there. We also have some guacamole, which is going to be the first layer on the bread. Now, I made my guacamole, but if you want to go and buy pre-packaged guacamole, I guess you can. It's probably not going to be that nice. So when I made this guacamole, I emptied the avocado into a bowl and began to mush it up until it was really, really smushy, mushy, and beautiful. And then I added in my onions, and I added in a teaspoon of chia seed with a little bit of cracked pepper and this really awesome Ocean Blends sea salt that I have. It's so yummy. And then I just went and blended all of that together. And then at the end, I just kind of added in a little bit of lime juice. I only used 1 wedge because it's only for 1 person today and there's not too much of a portion there. So it's actually very easy if you want to make your own guacamole, and it tastes amazing. I freaking love it. Probably shouldn't do that on camera. So the first thing I would probably do if I was making my lunch, like without the camera, I would just turn our ancient toaster on, chuck my 2 bits of bread in there. You might have a normal toaster, so lucky you, and it can time it for you, but we've got to keep a very close eye on it. Alright, so the toast has been lightly toasted. I've left it on there for about 30 seconds, and it just lightly toasted, just enough. I honestly don't like my toast too crispy, and if I had left it on there for like another 10 seconds, it would have burnt it, so whatever. But the next bit I like to do is spread on my delicious guacamole. I lather it on. I seriously love this shit. I used to think avocado was the grossest thing ever when I'd look at it. And then one day I saw my housemate, her name is Kat actually, Kat Mulheron. I saw her making guacamole one day and I just went, that looks so good. So I ended up trying it, and I think it's been 4 years? 4 years later, I could bloody just eat avocados by themselves. It's amazing. I did the same thing with salmon too. I kind of like never really liked salmon, and then one day I was looking at it and I was like, oh, I need to have that. So it's funny how you like things. Has anybody else had a story like that where they really didn't like something but then now they do? Let me know in the comments. We've got our avocado spread on there nice and beautifully. The next bit, I would just grab my mixed greens, chuck a bit of that on. The rocket and the spinach are quite leafy and they fall off really easily, so I like to put them on the second layer, and then the salmon kind of goes like a blanket over the top, if you know what I mean. Then we just quickly grab our pieces of yolks, blanket that over like that. Also, apparently if you use rye bread, it's meant to be better for you, but I'm not really a fan of rye, so I was just like, well, multigrain's like the next best thing. Ta-da! When it's finished, it should look something like this. I think maybe if I were to put the leaves on top, it might look a little bit prettier, but like I said, I like it to act like a blanket, and I like to be able to eat it more conveniently. Oh yeah, hello, look at you. That looks so delicious. And now comes the best bit, actually eating it. It'll probably be just as good as ever. No, oh my god, that guacamole. Fucking Jesus. Well guys, so that's the end of today's video. I hope it gave you a good idea of like what you could do for a, little lunchtime snack. If you genuinely liked this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up and give me some feedback, because I'm kind of wondering what kind of content everyone's really loving from me right now. And this one is totally like a little bit far out because I've never done a cooking with Tom kind of thing, so make sure you let me know. Also, just on another note, I've had a heap of people on Instagram send me through messages and ask for shout outs, and I truly love it when you guys send me images and cool things that you're trying out with your hair. But one thing that I'm really not happy with is when people ask for a shout out. When somebody asks for it, I particularly don't want to give it to that person. And that's because I think the mentality behind having followers is kind of like, well, if I have lots of followers, then I'm going to be really popular. It's not actually the case. Like, when you have followers, that's an actual audience that are waiting for content from you. If you're not working hard to get the following, then why do you deserve a shout out? Do you know what I mean? Just think about it before you ask me for a shout out. Like, I mean, it's just not right. If I get images of people that I think, you know, they've got great hairstyles or they're innovating great ideas, I'll shout that out every day of the week. But if you ask me for a shout out, I'm probably not gonna give it to you, because you actually kind of have to really, really work hard to gain a following. And once you've got it, it's very, very tough to maintain. So yeah, just have a think. I hope you liked this video this week, guys, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you next week. Next week, I'm getting a spray tan with Dane from Bang & Bobs. We're actually gonna spray tan me on camera. My barley tan's fading, so make sure you stay tuned for that if you want to see me in a pair of undies getting a tan. Alright guys, thank you so much, and I will see you later. Bye! Capiche? I would probably only recommend attempting this hairstyle if your hair is 7 inches or longer. If you're currently in the growing process, don't give up. When your hair's long enough, make sure you give this a try. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, hairdo.